Every July, behind the guarded gates of a private redwood retreat in Northern California, some of America's most influential figures have historically gathered, far from cameras and the public. No press, no outsiders, no phones. For over 100 years, presidents, bankers, and studio heads have walked into these woods and disappeared for 2 weeks. In the year 2000, one man snuck a camera in. What he filmed became one of the most argued about pieces of footage on the internet. Tonight we're going to separate what he actually caught from what people say he caught. And the strangest part isn't the ritual. It's what happened in these same woods when the cameras weren't there. The Bohemian Club was founded in San Francisco in 1872. 6 years later, a small farewell party in the Redwoods became a tradition, and by 1893, that tradition had a permanent home. 2,700 acres of old-growth forest along the Russian River. Bohemian Grove. The waiting list to join runs decades. The membership roster across a century has included Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, Herbert Hoover, Henry Kissinger, and as reported in 2023, a sitting U.S. Supreme Court justice. That's not rumor. That's documented history. And every July, on the very first night, this club performs something they haven't missed once since 1881. Picture this: torchlight moving through the trees, a funeral drum, men in red robes carrying a wooden box down toward an artificial lake where a 40-foot stone owl looms over the water like it's been standing guard since before the club existed. Inside the box is a coffin. Inside the coffin is a body. That's the moment that made this ceremony famous. Because on paper, it sounds like exactly what conspiracy theorists have claimed for decades: a ritual sacrifice performed by the American elite. But here's where legend and fact split. Because what's actually inside that coffin has been documented since 1893, and it isn't what you think. The body is an effigy, a scripted prop the club itself calls dull care. The entire event is a rehearsed stage play, written and performed by club members, complete with a script, actors, and sound effects. A high priest character delivers lines. The owl speaks through hidden speakers built into the statue. For years, the recorded voice was newsman Walter Cronkite, an actual club guest. The ceremony ends with the effigy set on fire, symbolizing members leaving their worldly cares behind for the retreat. That's the official story, confirmed by the club's own archived programs going back over a century. So legend says, human sacrifice, occult worship, a Moloch cult in the Redwoods. Fact says, a 140-year-old amateur theater production with excellent production value and a very committed prop department. But that doesn't mean nothing strange happened here. July 15th, 2000. Radio broadcaster Alex Jones and a cameraman named Mike Hansen slipped past the Grove's perimeter with a hidden camera, expecting, in Jones's own words, to catch human sacrifices being thrown into the owl's fiery interior. What they filmed instead was the cremation of care ceremony, robes and all. The footage became the centerpiece of Jones's documentary, Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove, and it's the reason most people even know this ceremony exists. Jones called it an ancient Canaanite Luciferian ritual. But he wasn't the only journalist who got inside, and the others walked away with a very different story. 11 years earlier, in 1989, a spy magazine writer named Philip Weiss had already spent 7 days undercover inside the Grove. His report focused less on ritual and more on powerful men drinking heavily and behaving like fraternity pledges. And when journalist John Ronson later reviewed Jones's own footage for a documentary series, his verdict was blunt. Not a satanic conspiracy, just wealthy men in their 60s acting like they never left college. So, is the ceremony real? Yes. Is it secretive and strange to watch? Absolutely. Is it evidence of human sacrifice? No credible reporting, including the accounts of people who've actually been inside, supports that claim. Here's the part almost nobody talks about, and it's stranger than any ritual, because this one is completely real, on the record, and reshaped the 20th century. September 1942. While the ceremony's owl statue watched over an empty lake, a very different kind of gathering happened in the Grove's clubhouse. Physicist Ernest Lawrence and a scientist named J. Robert Oppenheimer sat down with the U.S. Army's S-1 Executive Committee. On the table, how to organize the effort to build an atomic bomb. The meeting that helped launch the Manhattan Project, Bohemian Grove, September 1942. Within weeks of that meeting, the Army took full control of the project. A colonel named Leslie Groves was promoted to general and put in charge. A month later, Oppenheimer would be tapped to lead the weapons laboratory that built the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Not a robed ceremony, not a fire by the lake, just a closed-door meeting between powerful men, hidden from public view, that changed the course of human history, inside the same 2,700 acres where the owl still stands. So what do we actually know when you strip away 100 years of rumor? Fact. The club is real, the secrecy is real, and the membership roster reads like a list of American presidents and CEOs. Fact. The cremation of care is a scripted, century-old theatrical ritual, performed, not practiced. Fact. A pivotal Manhattan Project meeting genuinely happened inside these woods. Legend. That the ceremony involves a real human sacrifice. No verified source, including journalists who infiltrated the grove, supports this. Legend. That the owl represents Moloch or a Luciferian deity. This is an interpretation, not a confirmed club position. Maybe that's the real story here. Not that the most powerful men in the country are running a secret cult, but that they built an elaborate, secretive stage play just to feel for 2 weeks a year like nothing outside those trees matters at all. And every July, behind those same guarded gates, the tradition continues.
If a 140-year-old secret society burning a puppet in the woods sounds unbelievable, wait until you hear what else happens behind closed doors in American history. Subscribe for more stories where documented history turns out to be stranger than the legend.